mean, you have made the transition from business, manufacturing, industry to academia. Those relationships, are they less important now, more important now, or have they always been important? What would you say?
I think they're probably more important now than ever, and I think that's probably to follow on a couple of really key phrases that everyone's talked about today, and that's collaboration, it's about partnership, and it's about continual learning. I think whenever I move from manufacturing into the world of academia, although I'm not an academic, and I always find myself saying that statement, the one thing I've learned is our perception. So when you're in industry, your perception of academia and the world of university is probably about 20 years old, or whenever you went to school or university. It's very, very different today. And I think that difference is borne out because of partnership. So university trying to respond to the needs of industry. I think bringing those skill sets I have into the university has now also helped me change the perception within university of what industry is like and what they need. So the collaboration and partnerships is more essential than ever. We're moving so fast and changing in this industry. We talk about manufacturing, and we've mentioned Industry 4.0 and needing new skills and digital technology. And that's all true, and we have to develop and learn that. But I think, I'm hoping everybody in the room here who is involved in manufacturing, we all still fundamentally love to make things. At the heart of everything is we love to make, we love to solve problems, and what we have to do is get new tools to make that better and easier. But we still love to make stuff, from Lego to Meccano to your kids doing Minecraft. That's what we love to do. So we've got to make sure we don't beat that out of children or scare them off by, we're talking about brilliant stuff here today. Leadership, management, go on and learn new and exciting stuff. We've still got to remember, fundamentally, kids love to make stuff, kids love to solve problems. Let's sell that from a manufacturing perspective. Don't lose that key, essential brand piece. So yes, collaboration, continuing to learn and grow.
My golden rule about extra questions is going to be broken already. I can't help but asking you. You make a very good point that for those of us that went to sort of third level education, it's a long, long time ago. So if folk here want to talk to a university or a college about something they could do for them, who or what where's the point of contact at a very practical level? How do you do that?
So probably a very easy one to start with is if you have a question, you want to do follow-ups from today, whether it's business or teachers. Go to our very easy email address, which is askeps, and I'm going to get this wrong, Andrew, as I look at you, right? askeps@qub.ac.uk, and we'll flash that up somewhere. But just email that straight in, and we'll get you to the right person. Yeah,
during the workshops, we'll maybe be able to do that. Good call, good call. Simon, dealing with transformation, cultural changes, tell us how your company does it.
To deal with, sorry, say again. Good question again.
Well, just in terms of, you've had sort of cultural changes over the years. Any advice, any tips, any anecdotes?
Yes, we recently became a lean company. We've been on this journey for this past 2 years. The reason we embarked on this journey are twofold. The first one is the business environment is changing in terms of what is expected by our customers and our consumers. Supply chains are shortening, and there is an ever-increasing segmentation within the consumer base. That adds complexity, stretches your supply chains. A lot of the manufacturing colleagues will understand this. The second reason is the standards in terms of environmental and ethical requirements that are demanded by the customers. We needed a mechanism and tools within our company that we could absorb and manage this complexity at scale. So we embarked on this lean journey. What we're really doing in terms of transforming our culture and doing that is we're trying to create a lot of mechanisms up through the company whereby we can action change and where we can convert problems into solutions. Our company went through a long period of time where the default position was stop. Something became too hard or too difficult, it was stop. And the transformational change that we needed was, how do we get over that hurdle and we go from stop to, right, this is what we need to do to solve this problem. And these are the people from within the company that I need to bring into the team in order to help me solve this problem. If we take one of our lean tools which we deployed, It's called hotspot analysis. And what that does, that highlights, can't solve all the problems at once. It highlights where the problems are in your business, and you pick off the big ones. And we realised through this tool that recruitment and retention of staff was absolutely key. I have a few statistics. I got them from personnel last week. So with our senior management team, they are the people that drive the business, of which there's 8 key people. We have 37% representation from women. In the middle management team, we have 50% representation from women. And in the junior management team, we have 33% representations from women. Now, working through this tool, we then look at the wider context of the business. There was one particular area which was dispatch and logistics. And this was only about a year ago. How many women out of 19 people worked in that area? 0. So I asked the question, can someone explain to me why we have no representation from women in this area? And nobody could give me an answer. And the best we could come up with, that there was some sort of mindset. The company had been going on for 40 years. It was heavy work. There's lorries coming and going. So it became a culture that women didn't work in that area. So we issued a few programs. We encouraged women to apply, and we got Mila. Mila is from Slovakia, and she has been absolutely wonderful. That was about 8 or 9 months ago. The accuracy in that area, because her accuracy, just her personal attributes, her characteristics, she was very, very accurate. So she raised the game for the whole department, and then everybody else raised their game. And
did she become like a role model? Another?
She did, and a coin of phrase from Susan, who's sitting at the back. You cannot be what you cannot see. But very shortly after she started, we then had the applications coming in, and the mindset of the management broke down. Women can now do this job, and they're very good at it.
What's that expression? I'm going to write that down. You
cannot be what you cannot see. And again, I quote Susan Cleland for giving me that phrase.
All right, okay, I like it. I like it. Orla and Jennifer, you got your own microphone. There we are, bit of mic sharing. Okay. Whoever wants to go first, and just tell us your own experience. It's a huge area, so talk about whatever bit you would like about cultural transformation.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Mark, for introducing me. Culture transformation, you can't touch it, you can't feel it. I don't think anyone in this room could say that their cultural transformation strategy, that they are at the forefront of their industry. It's not like a CNC machine that you can bring onto your factory floor and you train an individual to run it, and it should do exactly what you expect it to do. Cultural transformation, it doesn't do exactly what you say on the tin without top-down emphasis and focus, and also bottom-up engagement, emphasis and focus. And it is also, it also is impacted upon both external and internal factors. And I know from our business, McAvoy Group, we're predominantly a manufacturer, but we are a disruptor in the construction sector. And the reason why I say that is externally, there are a number of key factors now that are driving construction activity into a manufactured environment. One is the need to deliver and manufacture and construct energy efficient buildings. And the second is government policy. Government want to drive standardisation in our buildings and are also looking for value for money. So externally, there are 2 key areas that means we need to adapt and change our culture. Internally, we have emerging workforce, and we currently don't have that workforce in place at the minute. But we will have, and that is a workforce that is going to be digitally astute. And with that, we also have to recognise that our workforce, the behaviours will change. There are people who thrive on change. Yeah. There are people who dislike change and will feel paralysed by it. And there are people who will learn to change. So with all of those factors, both external and internal, we feel that we need to adapt our culture.
And in a sentence, and break my rule again, how do you deal with those that don't like change?
Well, that's down to strong leadership, mentoring, peer-to-peer influence, performance management, just basic principles that any good business practice or organisation practice would have in place.
Good answer. Jennifer?
Okay, so culture in Myola. Myola's been in operation now for almost 43 years and has always had what we call the Myola culture.
Older than you.
Older than me, just about, not too much. So that culture is based on a set of core values, and they're very basic values, same values every business has. So they're things like technical expertise, innovation, the whole team pulling together, and customer care. And we keep those values alive, so they're not just pasted on a wall for everyone to read. We address those values at everyone's personal development session, 6 monthly, yearly, and how they have to explain how they are working within those values and what they're doing going forward. But in the past 18 months, we've been on a journey for an SC21 Gold Award, same as what Denroy had mentioned during their presentation as well. So we've done some other things along culture as well, and it's more about engaging the workforce and engaging the employees. Some of the things, we've changed lots of things on the shop floor around the environment that we work in, making it a nicer environment, how we communicate, how we interact with each other every day. We've made some really positive changes there also. And what we've done at the start of this year now, we've as a leadership team, we've set out our 5 core objectives, and we've communicated them in great detail to everyone in the company. So everyone from the directors down to the guy who's delivering the parts, everybody understands where we're going and what we're trying to achieve, you know, in terms of the numbers we're trying to achieve and in terms of how we're trying to do them, in terms of the words as well. Everybody knows how they're contributing to those objectives, and they will know quarterly how we're all doing as a team. And the key for that is to keep everyone engaged. Claire said it first thing this morning, making everybody feel valued. And our mantra at the minute is that everybody, every day, making a difference, and that's a positive difference, not just any old difference. Yeah, so that's what we're doing at the minute.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we've only got about 5 minutes left.
Okay.
Hold the mic.
Yeah.
Can you take the first question, or do you want to? Yeah, I'll give you the chance to pass that on, because it's probably the most popular question of the day. How is the lack of an executive holding Northern Ireland manufacturing back?
I'll probably pass that one on, but I think it's holding everything in Northern Ireland back, and not just manufacturing.
Right. I think Claire's agreeing with you, and she's going to take the poison chalice. Claire, if you take your mic and you answer that one, and then very quickly, then you're going to get the next one, Simon. You're going to get the next one, or you're going to get the last one. Okay.
So I was watching those questions with dread. I was paying attention, but I was also looking at those, going, "What one is he going to pick for me?" So on that on the executive, how does it hold manufacturing back? Whether we have it or not, I think there's an issue we all have in this room. We talked about talent. We talked about, lots of people have talked about loving Northern Ireland and wanting to stay in Northern Ireland. I don't know how many people are aware of this. We are going to get our talent through, directly from our schools. We're going to get it through apprenticeships, higher level apprenticeships, and we're going to get it through our graduates. You all need great skills to grow and to make sure that you are world leading. Right now in Northern Ireland, there's a cap on the number of students that can actually study in university in Northern Ireland. So that has a huge issue in us in terms of making sure that we can grow and get enough talent to actually supply it to all the need here. Now, lots of students want to go abroad, so as they get a different experience, go to England, go to university elsewhere. And that's brilliant, and I think everybody should experience different things. But for students who want to stay here, quite a lot can't because of that cap. And once you go abroad, sometimes it's very hard to come back. So that holds manufacturing Northern Ireland back. If we want to grow our talent pool, we have to remove those constraints and get more of our talent and our young people who want to stay here, be able to stay here.
But that can't happen at the moment without an executive, Claire.
It can't happen at the moment, and we need to try and change that. Be ready and get those arguments lined up for when it does come back in.
When, not if, when. I like it. Positive. Simon, why or how promote manufacturing to kids when they see so many closures affecting their family and friends?
I think manufacturing, it hasn't done a very good job at marketing itself, and we were talking earlier about, funnily enough, this very same subject. Manufacturing can be stereotyped as it's factories, it's dirty, it's heavy, etc. You have to wear all the safety stuff one of my colleagues was mentioning earlier on. But in actual fact, if you take our business and you widen the definition of manufacturing, food technologists, engineers, IT specialists, these are jobs that we need. These are jobs that we need today, these jobs that we are actively recruiting for. Within our sector, there are 4 technical managers that within Northern Ireland that can operate at the level that we need to satisfy the requirements for our business. Now, all of the other food manufacturers know who these guys are, and we all chase them. And it's very, very difficult. So once you sort of market the thing in the manufacturing in a wider context, it becomes a lot more attractive to attract young people into the industry and give them a future that they can enjoy and be productive in.
Good answer, but I'm just slightly distracted by this next question, which...
Is it for me, is it?
No, it's not. It's for me, Simon, unfortunately. I wanted you to keep talking, and that could be knocked out. I will answer that question. I've got a chance to think. Okay. I will. Jennifer, can you take the next one? I will handle that question. There are clear and common challenges re-attracting people to the industry. As an industry, can we have a collective approach rather than many independent events?
I think that's what we're doing today,
Yeah.
and I think this is a start of something that could really, really work. It's been a fantastic event. We've heard lots of things. Lots of us are doing the same things, but I think as a province and as an industry in general, we need to take on from today what we've learned and go forward, and hopefully have more events and do lots more work in the schools, and definitely in the primary schools and with the parents too, because I think that's a key thing that's come out. As parents of the next generation coming forward, we need to promote this industry, because it is a vibrant industry in Northern Ireland at the minute, and we need those people who want to do those jobs in the future.
And you're right, today's a good start. Orla, final word to you. If you want to answer those questions or just say anything that has come up while I get a bit more thinking time about that top question. Do you want me to read one out? Are apprenticeships, not higher level, available for people over 25? So apprenticeships for people over 25, such as returners or those looking for a career change.
Well, actually, I don't know if there is apprenticeships available for people over 25, but it's a very good question. I think what's more important is that I just touched on the construction industry and the fact now that we're being challenged to bring everything into the manufacturing environment, which is great. But we lost 30,000 construction jobs 10 years ago. So where are those 30,000 people now? And if there is an opportunity that there are retired joiners, plumbers, electricians, etc. There is a fabulous opportunity to come into a manufacturing environment with that skill set, but be able to evolve that using digital construction techniques. But we're not getting an opportunity to tell that story. So I think today has been really good to sort of get that joint voice. And I think strength is needed in numbers. And for example, today I've got an email there from Manufacturing NI asking me to fill out a survey on what the requirements are for the manufacturing sector in Northern Ireland. But is there anybody from Manufacturing NI here today? I'm not sure. So there is definitely a need to be a lot more collaborative and to create that one voice, and we definitely need an executive in place to listen to us.
Cool. Final word, Claire?
We were talking there now about what's next and how do we keep this momentum going. And I think a key thing coming out of this conference is it's going to be a waste if we all walk away and go, that was a nice day out.
Yep.
I wonder where the next one is. So what we're going to commit to doing, and hopefully we'll be able to have it set up for September, is the follow-on event from this. So taking your feedback, what is it that are the key themes coming out of here that we want to move forward for? How do we work that? How do we get an aligned approach as a manufacturing industry, and whether it's education or whether it's branding and marketing or whether it's getting Mark to do a TV programme for us? What is it that we want to do to really change the game? So we'll commit to doing something in September. Queen's will commit to hosting that somewhere in our facility.
A pledge?
But I know I'm in trouble after that one. But let's figure out what it is that we want to do as a collective group.
Claire, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our panel, thank you very much indeed.